blessed, amazing day because it's only a choice that you have these things. Today, baby, I want to talk about walking on water, walking on that turbulent water that you may not even know how you're going to really make it across, but you're going to keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your eyes on your goal, right? So I'm going to take you back a little bit in history. You remember when Jesus was on the boat. Jesus was on the boat and the disciples were scared because it was a storm outside. So they went and they woke him up. They woke him up and said, wait, hold up. Something is going on out here. Jesus got up and went out there and he said, let peace be still. See, a lot of times in our life, things break away. They break away so that there can be peace in your life, so that you can surrender to the flow of love in which God has given you, right? So now I'm up and I'm in this boat, and this boat is full of peace because this boat is directed by the Spirit in me that allows things to come and allows things to go. And sometimes we hold on to things in our consciousness, not even being aware of the fact that we're holding on to them within our consciousness because we're comfortable in that conscious state. Our consciousness is created to expand. So when you look into the description today, we're talking about creation on the podcast, how we create. See, you have to create from ground zero. A lot of us want to create from a comfortable place. No, you create from nothing and make something something. That's how we create. That's how God created. Let there be light. There was no light, but because there was no light, God knew exactly what he wanted to see. And so when you're at a zero point in your life, it's a place in your life where you know what it is you desire to see. And it takes that breaking away of the old so that the new can come in, right? So now we let them new come in. Praise you, the Lord. We're marching in to Zion, right? But we're walking on water as we do it. We're holding the hand of the one that we can't see, because the one that we can't see is the one that's leading us to the path of righteousness for its name's sake, right? So now we're still gliding. We're doing our little walk. We're tap dancing, happy in our consciousness, knowing that we have to let things go, right? That's in our consciousness. We have to let things go. We've got to become aware of the things that do not serve us, the things that we may look at ourselves and say, the things that we may even hang around. Some things you just got to let freaking go. And it's okay that you let it go because that's showing that you are growing. You're growing as an individual. You're saying, okay, that used to be a part of me. Not saying anything is wrong with what used to be a part of you, but now you have become a new creation because you're doing a new walk. You got a whole new talk. You got a whole new surrounding of people. You're in a whole nother territory, in a whole nother land. You've crossed over. And now you got to accept that your past is not your present and your present is not your future. And so now you have your march and you are diligent in going forward. God wants you to trust the process and let it go. It's easy to let go when you have trust. It's easy to let go when you make that conscious decision, that prayer above all prayers that you have already prayed, because see, all of the prayers were already in motion. But then the universe is saying, is this what you really want? And then you sit back and you get quiet enough to really tap into who you are as an individual, to ponder within your own heart. Because see, the heart, the desires of your heart is what God gives you. It's not the desires of another person's heart that God gives you. No, he gives you the desires of your own heart. So tapping into the desires of your heart is the key. It's the key to know what it is you want and know why you want it. And know that whatever it is you want, let it be your highest, greatest expression. Highest, greatest expression of what you think God is and what you think God has poured into you. So now we're going to get into gifts. Your gift will make room for you. You are created to be the land of milk and honey. Your gift is the way makeup to everything God has attached to you. So don't allow people to come to you talking about using your gift and you're not getting compensated. The devil's a lie. That's an old conscious. That's an old state of consciousness. How is it God gave me a gift? God knows the desires of my heart. And then I'm not supposed to charge for this gift? No. No, 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 no. Let this consciousness flow into you. When you are given something, right? God gave it to you freely. Freely to do what? Freely for you to be compensated. That's in anything that you create. If I was the inventor of this phone, okay? If I was the inventor of this phone, would you want me to sit up, take my time, cultivate this phone, and then just, that's even when you look at how the government give you free stuff. You got to give them something to get this. Well, it's not this one, but you understand what I'm saying. You got to give them something to get that phone. And that's what life is about. It's a natural give and take. A give, not give and take, but give and receive. You got to know your value. You got to know your worth. You can't let people just talk to you and say, oh no, because you're doing it for God. But look, God created me to prosper. Hello, somebody. By the works of my hands, whether it be me sitting down with my metaphysical book, looking up scripture so that I could break it down as once I get where I need, when I'm wherever you ask me to come speak, whether it's on the phone, if it's on the Zoom, wherever it is, I put the work in. And so then you look at what you put in, and then you expect God to pour back into you. That's the expectation. Give you a story, because I want you to really understand what I'm saying to you. Maybe a year ago, maybe a little bit longer than a year ago, I was attending one of my girlfriend's churches, and she said, well, we really need some help. I said, okay, well, if you need some help, I understand. I'll help. What it is you need me to do. So then the other pastor say, well, you ain't been in the church long enough for you to be in the pulpit. Now, mind you, I got every degree that I need to be where I need to be. Okay. But I'm going to listen to you, because now I'm going to humble myself. I'm going to let the Spirit listen to this. Okay. Well, we really need an usher. And we need an usher by the bathroom stall. Okay. I stand there and greet people. I know how to greet and smile. I know how to do this. Yeah. I know how to treat people like treat. I can do that. This is where she went wrong. And then we need you to clean the toilets. You don't need me to clean no toilet for free. That's a job. And in the kingdom, we honor one another. That's what kingdom do. The kingdom will honor you. Somebody that has great intention for you honors you. They honor the gift in you. They know that it's only you that can do that gift. Somebody else can get in that pulpit and say a word, but it's only you that has the gift. And so in your gift, you are in receiving mode at the same darn time. Because as you give, you receive. It's like breathing. As you give, you receive. That's the presence of God, being aware of you, being aware of your condition, being aware of your value, how you value yourself. That's the key. How do you value yourself? Do you deem yourself worthy? Is the gift that God gave you for free? Now, mind you, He gave it to you. I'm gonna give you this gift. Not only am I gonna give you the gift, I'm gonna create you. I'm gonna make you a new creation in the gift. Okay, give a whole new creation in the gift, because the gift is gonna make room for you. And when this gift make room for you, this gift is going to open up doors that you didn't even know existed. This gift is going to pour in the unimaginable flood that you haven't even thought about, because of this gift that I've given you. Now, do you deem yourself as worthy of this gift? Or are you one of those that say, I'm yet a son. God's still working on me. No, God has already done the work. It's nothing else that God needs to do with you. You are complete. You're whole. You're whole in all of that. In all of that. Your decisions are your decisions, which create experiences, which give you wisdom, which allow you to grow, which allow you to testify, which give you stories so that you can be a living testimony to what God is. That's like Peter. And then Jesus said, okay, well, take your net and throw it to the right. Throw the net out there. What did he get back? Another fish. By the works of his hands. Okay, now, by the works of Jesus' hands, what did Jesus do? Healed, fed, turned water into wine, delivered, redeemed, liberated, celebrated, walked with all, never thought he was greater than. Look at what Jesus did. And Jesus knew that he was worthy of the crowd. Jesus knew that he was worthy of the things that God had given to him. He was worthy of the not just 12 disciples, so many disciples. He knew he was worthy of these things because he was doing the Father's work. How many of you are doing the Father's work on a daily basis, but you don't think that the work that you're doing is valuable enough for you to get paid? I don't care what the works of your hands may be, or the works of your voice may be, or the works of your body, because some people are dancers, some people are musicians, some people are all of these things. You hear, you got to work hard, you got to work hard, you got to work hard. You've got to believe that you are exactly what God created you to be, that you are ready right now, and that the doors that he didn't allow you to walk through were the doors that you weren't supposed to be in no way. Because see, that consciousness was going to keep you somewhere. That consciousness was going to keep you in a place where you would never grow. It would always be where the place to go. And you always be a work of peace. When you didn't expect to be a work of peace. You said you to be something greater than the work of peace. You know, we always say our position. Let's say that we don't need to be work of peace at some point in time in the world. But that is said. My kind of thing is still to do. And when I do feel so, I feel good. I feel good. And you think I'm going to use my hands and do it? No, I'm very much feeling it. And I knew I need to tell you what I mean. You just have to tell the thing that God needs to say. You're trying to say, if you're willing to say, God, if you're willing to say. I wouldn't ask God to come clean up no toilet. I don't even imagine God like that. Now, if I needed some assistance, that spirit would come through to do it for me. Yes, that's the presence of God giving us our heart's desires. So now when you raise your consciousness up, you come out of that place of not knowing that your gift makes room for you. Almost like what Judge Judy said. Do what you love and find a way to monetize it. That is how you create. So you're doing what you love. You found a way to monetize it because you believe in yourself. You believe in everything that you created. You believe that the source of you is bringing all of these things back to you because of the pureness of your heart, the intention of your heart, right? It's coming back unto you. Everything that you do, you got to do it with a pure intention. You got to do it from a place that is love. Not to say there is no love in giving. There is love in giving, but there's also a seed of love in receiving. Get it? I want you to get it in your spirit. There's a seed of love in giving, but it's also a seed of love in receiving, because you've given me something that is valuable. You have given me something that has changed my life. If it had not been for you at this time in my life, I would not have been able to make this conscious shift. So let me pour into you, because you poured into me something fresh and something brand new, something that I was unaware of. Something that I was unaware of. See, you got to be careful about people that want to be successful, but don't want you to be successful with them. You got to be careful about people that want to be the head and want you to be the tail. You got to be careful about how you view yourself. How you see you is the most important gift. How do you see you? Do you deem yourself valuable? Do you deem yourself honorable? Are you walking in integrity? Do you have morals about you? Or are you just doing something? Let me tell you about my doing something. See, a lot of people think, okay, the Tuska sold Mary Kay. Yeah, Tuska sold Mary Kay. Kind of like the product. Does a great job. Still wear the makeup. But I knew that wasn't me. The best part of me working for Mary Kay was the fact that I could take God with me everywhere that I went, because I would do that anyway. I don't care what the job is. I'm going to take God with me everywhere that I go. My conversation is going to be lifting God up and lifting the essence or the presence of another person up, because that's God's will. It's not God's will that I speak down over you. It's not God's will that I talk low over you and make you seem as though you a filthy, dirty rag and I'm something just shining over here. No, that's not God's will. God's will is that I be a temple and that I build up other temples. And I get people to see the magnificence within themselves that they may not see because of talk and misunderstandings. Misunderstandings of the presence of what God is in them. That's the gift. The gift of life. The gift that says, hold up, there is no sin in that decision. There's only a place for you to decide something different. That's where I'm taking you from. No sin in that decision. It's a place for you to decide something different from that point on. That's the opportunity that God has given you. That's the liberation that God has given you. From that state, what is your next move? And your next move should be your best move. In your nothingness, in your creation mode. What are you creating? In that standpoint. From that standpoint of nothingness, where there's complete darkness all around you, what do you create? You create light so that you can see, right? Not only do you create light in the daytime, you begin to create light at night. So then even when your eyes close, you can see some stuff. That's when your intuition kick in. Even when it's dark outside, I see. Okay? That's what the presence of God is in that zero zone. At zero zone. You begin to create. Then you may want some water. Because see, water is life, living water. Water is living. Water is the only thing that man cannot create. Man can't even duplicate water. They can add all kind of additives in it and put all kind of flavors in it and do everything to it, but cannot created as spiritual. Water is spiritual. Half our body is water. Over half of our body is water. So now you're speaking to the water because now you realize the water is living. And this water is peace. And this water is joy. And this water is love. And this water is a surrender of all good things in my life. And this water, and then you begin to drink that water. And then as you drink that water, see, it adds to the body of water that's already inside of you. And then those things, those old ways begin to break off. You become new. You become that water which you're speaking to, which you're talking to in love. So that love can begin to grow in you. This water is to purify my mind. This water is to bring me peace within my mind. This water is to take away all negative things that may be dwelling in me, all sickness and all pain and all. You begin to speak to the water that you drink because you know God is, right? God is the creator of it. God is the source of it. God is the substance of it. God is the power of it. And it's just like you. God is the presence of you. God is the substance of you. God is the power in you. God is you. Manifested in flesh. Manifested for the whole entire world to see. Manifested for such a time as this. Manifested to give you a living word, to give you a supernatural way of thinking, a supernatural way of being, a supernatural understanding of who you are and how you begin to create. And so since you begin to create from zero, let it go. Let go of everything that does not serve you. Let go of every imagination that says you're not good enough. Every imagination that says you're not smart enough. Every imagination that says you got to go do something to get something so that you can be right and all of that. Let go of all of those imaginations. God is you. You are the wisdom. You are the wisdom. The infinite intelligence is you right here, right now. What are you doing with the love that's masked in you right now? How are you wrapping your love and encompassing someone else with the love that God has given you? How are you using your love for another? How are you using your love for another? Are you using your love to be over another? Are you using your love so that we can walk beside one another, hand to hand? Equals, powerful, in the presence, knowing that God is us, wrapped in flesh, knowing that God is perfection, that God is the shift, God is the change, God operates in love. God is not a God of separation. God is not a God of judgment. God is not that God. And your life should be able to tell you God is not that God. That your spirit should be able to discern between what is God and what is man. Knowing that you are a God just as well as I am. Knowing that the scripture says in Psalms 82, isn't it not written that ye all are gods? And it is. It is so. But who and which God is doing the puppeteering with you? Do you have a God outside of you, which you lift up, raise up? And then as soon as they do something human, judgment is falling. Did you hear how such and such said such and such and such and such? Oh, you know, such and such was sleeping with such and such. End of the day, we all have worldly ways. Now, can you tame those things? Of course you can. That's choice. That's choice. But then it's also choice not to put someone on a pedestal. That's a choice as well. It's a choice to go to God for everything. That's a choice. That's a choice to ask the Creator to give you the answers. That's a choice, not to go outside of yourself asking for somebody else to confirm something inside of you that God has already said to you. If you're waiting on somebody to give you permission, give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to be as bad as you want to be. Give yourself permission to be as rich as you want to be. Give yourself permission to be as dynamic as you want to be. Give yourself permission. You don't need nobody else's permission to do that. This is your life and it matters to you. It should. It should. It should matter to you. So I'm saying to you, I'm saying all of this for you to understand. Let it go. Everything you're trying to hold on to and everything you're trying to keep together that don't even fit no more, let it go. Everything that don't serve your highest, greatest good, let it go. Every imagination that may be standing around you thinking that you're something other than what you know that you are, let it go. Everything that may be trying to hold you back and throw you down, let it go so you can stand up. Let it go. Be confident, not in the skin. I'm confident in my spirit. That's two different things right there. Because see, my body is inside my spirit. I'm confident in my spirit, which makes me confident in myself. I'm covered all the way around, protected all the time, all the time. Nothing can penetrate this. Nothing can penetrate this. I believe nothing can penetrate this. That I am protected because of love. That there may be evil eyes. But guess what? All of those evil eyes be returned back to sun. Because the speck that you think you see in me, you should see in yourself. The speck of imperfection that you think you see in me, you should look in the mirror and examine yourself. I see perfection in everything. In its own way, in its own consciousness, in its own dwelling. It is what it is. But I'm not going to send you to hell because I don't agree with you. I'm not going to be derogatory towards you because I don't understand what you're saying. I'm not going to talk down on you because that's not what I'm aware of. Your awareness is everything because that's your consciousness. That's your consciousness. We are all individualized universes. Individualized universes. So my thoughts may not be your thoughts. We may agree on some things and disagree on others. But because I disagree with you, do I have to tear you down because of the thing that I disagree on? No. I respect that's where you at. And if there be something or a shift in me that has to take place for me to become aware of something that I was unaware of, guess who I go to? Higher part of myself, God, the Most High God, not the worldly God, but I go up in consciousness. I go where unconditional love is. That's where I find the answers in unconditional love. See, I can't come down here talking about, I know God is an unconditional God and all, and He forgives us of our sins, but this right here is still wrong. No, it is what it is. That's what that is. It is what it is. Nothing good nor bad about it unless you put that projection on it. We are the only ones that project these type of things. What is good enough or bad enough or not sufficient or that's like eating food. I don't necessarily like escargot, but there's a lot of people that do. I don't like the grit. But how would I know I don't like the grit unless I tasted it? Did I say it was nasty? No, I said it's not for me. All of these things God created, God allowed us to create so that it would give us more life, and so that we can have life more abundantly. Because you don't like a thing does not make it anything to someone else. Get it? That's your opinion. That's your mind. That's what you want in your life. You have the ability to create all of these boundaries that you decide to create. Being healthy is a state of mind. It's a state of mind. Eating certain foods, that's a state of mind. All things are good in moderation. But when your moderation is off the cliff and it's causing dis-ease in your body, that's something for you to monitor, because that is a state of your consciousness. We all do something. We all do something. I don't know. The something could be overeating. The something could be drinking to the point of being inebriated. The something could be pornography. The something can be living lustful lives. The something could be an expansion of any freaking thing. Only you can make that decision that it's time to let it go. That living certain type of ways aren't, what are they doing? What are they doing for you? How are they allowing you to grow? How are they allowing you to pull out your fullest potential? How are they allowing you to be more than you ever thought you possibly could? If you're always in the shadows, being the lower states of consciousness. Unconditional love is loving yourself first. Loving yourself to the point where, yes, I'm going to eat properly. Yes, I'm going to do some form of exercise. Yes, I'm going to move my body, whether it be dance, because you can dance in those ways. You know what I'm saying? It's things that you could do, and you could do all by yourself. You don't even need a partner to do it. But then it's sometimes in your life, some points in your life, you want that partner. You want that person that thinks like you, that kind of is interesting to your own intellect. Someone that you can hold a conversation with and it not be blown out of the water because they're set in their belief about a thing. They're open and willing enough to listen to your belief. Or either you find someone that believes almost a little bit like you. And so now you at a table where it's just exploration going all around, because they're willing to hear you and they're willing to tell you their point of view, and you're open enough to receive. And that's what love is. Love is not torment. Love is not tearing someone down. Love is not forcing how you feel on someone else. Love is not manipulating someone to do something that you want them to do. Love is so much more than that. That's what love is. Love is the expression that we see when we hold babies and they pass gas and we kind of giggle about it because we know it's a natural thing. That's what love is, a natural thing, a natural expression that comes freely through us. That's what love is. Love is giving and receiving. Love is a overwhelming, beautiful thing once you experience it. But you got to experience it first in you. Again, how can someone love you and they don't truly love themselves? They don't see the uniqueness of themselves. They don't see how important they are. They don't value their own words or their own content or their own creations of things. They don't deem themselves worthy enough to have what God has for them, because they're constantly looking at themselves as though they're filthy, dirty rags. No, it's time that we turn up thermostat to the fullness of what we are. We're here to love. We're here to be loved. We're here as one body, many members. The greatest expression of God's love for us all, sharing the same oxygen. Everyone at different consciousness states, different states of awareness. No one is wrong. We are exactly where we're supposed to be mentally, because some of us have done the work. And so when I go to the Father, my intention is pure. I've done the work. Just like Jesus said, Father, I've done the work now. I've done the work. I've worked on Latiska. Latiska had a lot of stuff to work through. And so once I began breaking away from different consciousness states, I said, Lord, this is what I want to do. I want to do this for the masses. I want to help people be renewed mentally, because that's where it's at. I want to help people really get in touch with what's going on in their heart, where the truth is, where you are. And I want to get them out of all of the dogma and the confusion and the judgment. I want to take all of that away. Some kind of way, I know we can do it. Because see, it's no longer Latiska that does anything, but it's Christ that does all things through me. It's just like Jesus. Jesus was the character to teach us what Christ was. Jesus was the character to teach us about Christ. Now, you have another one, masked in flesh. We're all over the world, shedding light in a dark world, stripping away the dogmas and the judgments that have been placed on God's people, so that we can bring us back into remembrance of who we are. But mind you, we all over the world. When God said, let there be light, he sent light for such a time as this. He sent ancient knowledge, wisdom for such a time as this. He sent these things because the Creator knows there's going to be some things that happen. And a lot of us really believe in the end of the world, but if that's in your consciousness, that is what you will experience. So I'm opening a door for you to experience life at its fullest and release I'm asking you to just listen, work with me, use some of these techniques, and I promise you they will change your life. I promise you, because it's not me that's going to do the work, it's God going to do the work in you. Use the techniques and see if they don't transform your life. Just use them. Just begin to do the affirmations. Just begin to learn the meditations. Just begin to learn the concepts of the things in which your heart desires. Know what it is you want. Know what it is you want. And that this work that's been done in me be also done in you. Because that is the job. I always wanted God to be my boss. The best boss I could ever know. Boss is saved. Do it for me, Lord. Do it. And as you do it for me, allow me to teach others to do it for themselves, so they may expand and grow and become their fullest potential. That will be done on earth as it is in heaven, and so it is.